What's going on? Thanks for checking in. Today I have 5 explosive upper body exercises that all baseball players and softball players should be doing. Make sure you stay tuned, check this one out. So when we talk about explosive training in general, a fast stretch shortening cycle always comes to mind. Doesn't matter if you're doing lower body plyometrics exercises to your upper body power exercises. We have to take that stretch shortening cycle into mind. The stretch shortening cycle, or SSC, is the muscle action when active muscle lengthening is immediately followed by active muscle shortening. This is a combination of concentric and eccentric muscle actions. So when we're picking these top exercises, we're looking at movements that are going to incorporate this entire stretch shortening cycle. All right, let's get into this. Got our guy, Danny Bananas, helping us out once again. First one is the banded explosive push-up. All you're gonna do is grab a heavier band, set pins up or clips on a rack or the J-cups. We're gonna go on these rogue racks. I like to go 7 all the way up to 10. Just make it relatively high, almost to the kneecap, right? Attach the band around it, the heavy one. And all we're going to do is a rapid fire push-up, leaving the ground after each press. The band allows a lighter load in the hole while allowing the athlete to make each muscle contraction quicker and more rapidly. Not only are we producing power here, we are doing it multiple times very quickly, causing a strong central nervous system adaptation as well. Big thing setting this exercise up when it's on the pins here is make sure you're running that band along the nipple line. A big mistake that I see is guys or girls putting that band down lower towards the belly button, then they're sitting there flopping around like a fish. So you want that band tucked right along the nipple line and right under those armpits. Coming in at number 2 is an explosive sled row. The lats are very type 1 fiber dominant, right? So those are your endurance, those are your slow twitch fibers. So it's very difficult to train the lats for power. This sled variation is a really solid way that we like to do power training with the lats into our program. Just because we press fast, right, we got to be able to even it out and pull very quickly. So this is a sled row. We just have a basic sled right here with a couple wagon wheels on her with the straps as handles. Dansby is going to gain momentum into this. He's going to hop back. The lats are going to stretch, causing that stretch shortening cycle. Lat stretching, then he's going to actively redirect that force back to him into an explosive sled row. So go ahead and hit it, Dansby. So he's lengthening quick, pulling. Good, make it tight, hop back, go. So if you watch closely, as he jumps back, as he gains ground, the lats are lengthening, then he's redirecting that back. That is the stretch shortening cycle, and that's why we're able to build big power out of the lats throughout this exercise. Hit it. Coming in at number 3 is a med ball drop pass. This incorporates the entire stretch shortening cycle out of a pressing action, so we're building big pressing power here. All you're gonna do is grab a medicine ball. I typically like using the heavier ones. All depends on, you know, if you're using kids, right, use a lighter one. The goal is to accept the force and redirect it as fast as possible. So Dansby on each rep, he's gonna accept it and throw it as high as he can. So we're gonna get a bench or a box. In this case, the athlete is gonna lay face up. One partner is gonna stand up on the box or the bench, and you're just gonna drop it on the other athlete's chest. They have to accept it, redirect it as fast as possible. Try not to allow any time for the ball to hit the chest. Good, so we're using the entire stretch shortening cycle there, and it's a rapid action, so we're getting that central nervous system primer, that CNS adaptation as well there. Coming in at number 4 is an overhead medicine ball toss. This is a full body movement, but the arms are releasing it, right? So we always add it in on our upper body power day. You can do this exercise for height, and you can do it for distance. Overall, it's creating big vertical power. All right, so the first way we incorporate this is for height, but we're gonna incorporate the stretch shortening cycle. So Dansby's gonna snap this ball down as hard as he can, and then redirect that force and throw it as high as he can, producing big vertical power. So go ahead and hit it. Good. So with this exercise, if we slow it down a bit, you're getting triple extension, man. You're getting the ankles, the knees, the hips, and then full thoracic extension, creating power throughout the entire body. Next way we like to do this is for distance. So you're gonna do the same exact thing. You're gonna snap that ball down as hard as you can, and then just try to throw it as far as you can. Good. All right, there it is. Make sure you're adding those overhead medicine ball throws in on your upper body training days. Lastly, coming in at number 5, right, are these jammers. This is my ultimate favorite piece of equipment that we use in the gym for building upper body power. A lot of your gyms aren't gonna have this. However, the ones that do, it can give you an incredible advantage when doing your off-season programming. They make regular jammers out there that is just a specific jammer machine. I grew up using that. The gym I trained at back home when I was playing ball had it. But now they're making these attachment jammers for the rogue racks, the sore neck racks, etc. These things are ideal for ball players building rotational power, building pressing power, and even doing your pulling and your rowing power variations. So I'm gonna show you a couple variations that's gonna be good for building that upper body explosive power. So setting up these jammers, I always like to use a band attachment for that accommodating resistance. When we put a bunch of weight on here, it kind of wobbles around, throwing off the fulcrum arm. But the first exercise that I always like to do for pressing power is just your step through double punch jammer. So go ahead and hit it. Good. Another main variation that I like to do is just single arm, and you're gonna rotate into it. I like to keep the lower half the same as if you were to swing or throw, and Dansby's gonna sink, rotate, and punch it. The third one that we like to do is an explosive row variation, hitting the lats as well. So go ahead and hit this one. Hey, that's a wrap. Go ahead and add those 5 upper body exercises into your program. It's gonna drastically increase, your power output from your pressing, from your pulling, and then your rotational power. All ball players, baseball, softball, need to be doing some sort of upper body power training. It's highly neglected. You can't stay away from it. Just because your lower half's powerful doesn't mean your upper half is. So make sure you add that into your training. And always remember that I pump out 2 of these videos per week. So do me a favor and subscribe. I appreciate you. Catch you next week. Game rewards the grind. It knows how much you've invested.